T.E. Lawrence, eponymously of Arabia, but very much an Englishman, favored pinching a burning match between his fingers to put it out. When asked by his colleague, William Potter, to reveal his trick, how is it he so effectively extinguished the flame without hurting himself whatsoever, Lawrence just smiled and said, "The trick, Potter, is not minding it hurts." The fire that danced at the end of that match was a gift from the Titan Prometheus, a gift that he stole from the gods, who were terrified of what we might do with it were it to fall into our hairy little paws. When Prometheus was caught and brought to justice for his theft, the gods, well, you might say they overreacted a little. The poor man was tied to a rock as an eagle ripped through his belly and ate his liver over and over, day after day, ad infinitum. All because he gave us fire, our first true piece of technology. Fire. Such a very long time ago. Which begs the question, what have we done with it?
I've read a short story that deserves your attention. It's called The Machine Stops, and it's about how the internet is warping our mental health, intimacy, and values. It was published in 1909. E.M. Forster's story predicted a lot about life in the 21st century. I'm going to tell you what he got right and what he got wrong, at least so far as we can tell. First, the accurate. The book's main character, Vashti, spends all day streaming music, video chatting with friends, delivering lectures online, responding to event invites, and even writing food reviews. Of course, the language for this stuff isn't so modern, but the concepts are functionally the same. Vashti's, quote, in touch with all that she cares for in the world, thanks to a man-made infrastructure called the machine. To us, the machine is just YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Uber Eats, Amazon, etc. Seeing this tech in a story published 80 years prior to the invention of the internet is uncanny. But what's crazier is how accurate Forster's predictions were regarding human behavior.
This is the world you are graduating into. This is what I want to talk about today with you for a few minutes. To lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century.
Take addiction. People in the story worship the, quote, ecstasy of touching a button, however unimportant, or of ringing an electric bell, however superfluously. This is exactly how developers game your brain, so you keep opening apps, clicking on notifications, and staring at those ads. And when Vashti does pause the machine, she immediately gets bored and flips it all back on. Anyone who closes Instagram or Facebook only to reopen it a few minutes later out of boredom knows the feeling well. Forster also knew that the machine wouldn't make us happy. When Vashti steps outside her apartment, she's, quote, seized with the terrors of direct experience, so she makes up an excuse to stay home. When she's embarrassed, she asks the machine for euthanasia. Unfortunately, these behaviors probably sound familiar. There's evidence that anxiety, depression, and suicide are all on the rise and positively correlated with social media use.
I am a translator. Transforming text into creative discovery. Movement into animation. And direction into action. I am a healer. Exploring the building blocks that make us unique. modeling new threats before they happen. And searching for the cures to keep them at bay. I am a visionary, generating new medical miracles. And giving us a new perspective on our sun to keep us safe here on Earth. I am a navigator, discovering a unique moment in a sea of content.
We are announcing the next generation.
And the perfect setting for any story. I am a creator, building 3D experiences from snapshots and adding new levels of reality to our virtual selves. I am a helper, bringing brainstorms to life.
From different angles.
Sharing the wisdom of a million programmers. And turning ideas into virtual worlds.
Build a northern forest.
I even helped write the script. Breathed life into the words and composed the melody. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
4000 BC, the wheel. 800 BC, sundial. 9th century AD, gunpowder. Bit of a game changer, that one. 1441, the printing press. Only slightly less impactful. 19th century, steam engine, railway, eureka, the light bulb. 20th century, the automobile, television, nuclear weapons, spacecraft, internet. 21st century, biotech, nanotech, fusion and fission and M theory. And that was just the first decade.
Cyborgs remind us of characters that are futuristic in fantasy.
He's more machine now than man.
But in reality, we're all basically cyborgs. From glasses to smartwatches, we wear and carry and attach a lot of things that supplement or enhance our body's abilities. But there's a growing movement of people who are taking that integration to the next level by implanting everything from magnets to Wi-Fi routers in their bodies. This isn't the kind of thing that you can just do at your doctor's office, so they've come up with their own unofficial and surprising ways to get it done. We went and visited one of the most renowned hacker surgeons in the country, who performs these procedures in his garage. Now, surgery in someone's garage may sound really cool or really scary, but this is the bleeding edge of body and tech integration, and it's becoming more and more mainstream.
Jeff, where the fuck are the screws?
They should be sitting on the gray case up there to your left, on the sensory depth chamber. Yeah.
This is Jeffrey Tibbetts. He goes by Cassix Online. By day, he's a registered nurse. But at home, in his garage, he's a hacker surgeon. This is all biohacking. It's a movement of citizen scientists who are experimenting on their own bodies outside of the traditional lab space. It can take the form of tech implants or self-administering untested medicine or trying to unlock the code of living forever. But Jeffrey identifies as a grinder. Grinding is a subset of the larger biohacking community, which mostly focuses on body modifications and tech implants, like computer chips in people's hands, LED lights in arms, magnets in fingertips, and Bluetooth teeth. Really anything to enhance or change the body's functionality.
We are now 3 months into the year of our Lord, 2023. At this moment in our civilization, we are on the verge of terraforming planets undiscovered just a decade ago. We have identified the genetic chain of events behind 98% of cancers. A chain we have broken, effectively curing them. We can create cybernetic individuals who, in just a few short years, will be completely indistinguishable from us.
There's so much variety in terms of what people bring to the community. It's not just people that are like have like more of a medical background. It's not people who have a biology background. You know, it's like, yeah, we have those people. We also have engineers. We have chemists and material engineers.
We're playing, we got a new game, Jeff. It's called Steal the Magnet from Your Friend's Magnet Implant.
Oh shit, it's mine now.
I describe myself as a cyborg biohacker, transhumanist. My implants, I had 26 before I arrived here today, and now I have 33. Am I doing my math right? 33. I have 33 implants.
Anastasia Sin uses her implants for magic. We met her at Jeffries where she was getting 7 implants. Biohacking exists in a medical and legal gray area, which means it's truly an underground movement. But the community feels like they should have the right and ability to accept that inherent risk and change or modify their bodies how they want. And that's exactly what they do. It just ends up in places like Jeffrey's garage.
Which leads to an obvious conclusion. We are the gods now.
You can find communities online literally built around depression memes. And then there's intimacy. In his story, people, quote, avoid one another with an almost physical repulsion. The characters struggle with conversation. Touch is taboo. Few people have sex, and when they do, it's organized through the machine. In our world, a touch-starved lifestyle is increasingly reality, especially for younger generations. And despite dating apps, there's a growing number of totally isolated people. So that's the stuff I thought was really smart in its forecasts for how the internet would change us. There's 3 other big guesses that are less realized. First is people treating the machine like a god. In the book, people supplant traditional religious texts with the apparently infallible Book of the Machine. For us, although traditional faiths are dying in some places, it's not like we've started worshipping cell phones. Also, nobody trusts all the information they find online. Second is people abandoning nature altogether. Humanity in the book seals itself underground and forgets, for example, what snow looks like. If anything, I think the internet is increasing people's desire to see the world. And most people still enjoy outdoor activities, if only to broadcast them online.
I haven't been struck down. I'll take that to mean I'm right. We wield incredible power. The power to transform, to destroy, and to create again. The question, of course, before us is what the hell are we supposed to do with this power? Or more importantly, one should ask, what are we allowed to do with this power?
Third is extreme reduction in job diversity. Humanity in the book spends all day live streaming and watching other people's live streams.
We just try lots of new things. New discoveries are made, and last Grindfest we were doing B12 shots on each other. Cattle B12 shots. I mean, they give it to cows. It's got to be okay for people. I mean, you shouldn't just, get drunk and play Scrabble or sing karaoke. You should get drunk and inject yourself with some B12.
Dr. Godfrey, we're able to get our cow in the chute here. While we got her here, before we start doing anything, can you talk to us a little bit about site injection and finding a good site and how to choose the appropriate place?
Sure. So when we inject any kind of medication, whether it be vaccine or antibiotic into this cow, we want to do that in the neck, whether it be under the skin or in the muscle. When we're trying to find a location to do that, we have a specific triangle on the neck of the cow that we like to do that in. As you'll see, this cow is somewhat pushed up in the chute, and we can see her shoulder right here. So we want to come in front of her shoulder. The great thing about this chute is that we have neck extenders, and it gives us the perfect location to make these injections. So we come in front of the shoulder, we come down from the top of the neck about a hand's width. There's a ligament that runs right here that we don't want to inject into. And then we come up from the bottom of the neck about a hand's width. This is where the cow's neck or vertebrae run through here. and we give the injection in this triangle region.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about why that's such a good area for us to be injecting into?
Yeah, of course. So the advantage to injecting in the neck is that this is the least desirable cut of the whole cow. We don't give any intramuscular injections in the rump or the top of the hip, and we try not to give any vaccines or any injections in the ribs or behind the elbow for the same reason.
It'll probably help you the next day.
Most people won't be rushing out to do that, but that's the fundamental idea here. They're pushing at the edges of our perception of what we should and shouldn't do with our bodies. And they're learning a lot in that process.
We one by one made all of the mistakes on the way, you know? And so it's like now everything else is easy. We don't have to keep making mistakes, and we can prey upon all of the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's already been done and researched by people in the medical field. A lot of the stuff that's really cool and then just brought to a slightly, different level. Oh no, that's my take. Yeah.
I'm 2,000 years old, and I remember when we used to open up the door and just let the kids be.
Sarah! Sarah! Sarah!
Hey, lady!
Sarah!
I found her!
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
Sarah will be part of our trial period.
Response so far is just incredible. A sense of security, peace of mind. The stories we've been hearing, they are truly inspirational.
It's completely safe.
Sure it is, honey.
Rules, restrictions, laws, ethical guidelines, all but forbidding us from moving forward. Well, where were the ethics during the Arabian conflicts? Why are rules preventing us from feeding impoverished cultures? How is there a law that states if we build a man from wires and metal, a man who will never grow old, who will never feel the heat of a star or the cold of the moon, how is the creation of such an incredible individual considered unnatural? The answer to all these questions is simple. These rules exist because the people who created them were afraid of what would happen if they didn't. Well, I am not afraid.
Today we bring you the series Black Knight, and the first episode opens with a haunting voiceover by our main character 5-8, setting the stage for this post-apocalyptic world we are about to enter. 40 years ago, a comet collided with Earth, causing a catastrophic destruction. Most continents have sunk beneath the sea, and the once lush Korean peninsula has transformed into a barren desert wasteland. Only 1% of the population survived, and these survivors were forced to adapt to a new technology and a new social order. To combat the polluted atmosphere, a colossal air core was constructed to convert the scarce resource of oxynium into breathable oxygen. The scarcity of resources led to a division of the population distinguished by QR codes into general, special, and core districts. Those not chosen were condemned to live as refugees, struggling to survive in a world of discrimination, starvation, and lack of oxygen. Some refugees, desperate and angry, become hunters, stealing and plundering to survive. To counteract this threat and ensure the delivery of vital supplies, the delivery men were established. These delivery men are the lifeline of this new world, braving the sand-filled desert and its polluted area, fending off brutal hunters and delivering oxygen and other necessities to the QR-coded residents, and 5-8, a legendary delivery man and former refugee, embodies the strength, resilience, and determination required to survive in this harsh environment. Meanwhile, in the general district, we meet Yoon Sa-woo, a spirited teenager boy who was once a refugee but now lives with Major Sol-ah, the soldier who saved him. Despite the danger, Yoon frequently visits his friends in the refugee area, honing his skills and dreaming of becoming a delivery man himself. But Sol-ah, fearing for his safety and the consequences of harboring a refugee, grounds him for 15 days. In stark contrast to the desolate refugee areas where thick dust and a lack of greenery prevail, the core district is a veritable utopia. This underground haven enjoys sunny skies and offers miles of visible grass, serving as a home to the society's elite, among whom includes Madam President Chi Jen, However, the residents of the Special District are suffering from depression and panic attacks due to their inability to see the sky and forest caused by inadequate engineering. To address this issue, Madam President Xi Jinping plans to relocate the Special District's residents to a newly constructed district called District A. During a conversation with Chairman Ryu, they discussed the issue and the relocation plan. Here we learn that Chairman Ryu is responsible for the designing of the world they live in today, having dug 5 kilometers deep 40 years ago. We are then introduced to Ryo Sok, the heir for the Champayong group, which rules the world by taking advantage of the oxygen demand. Ryo Sok meets with President Xi Jinping and his father, and they meet to discuss the operational tests of the air road, a critical component of their world.
For those of you who know me, you will be aware by now that my ambition is unlimited. You know that I will settle for nothing short of greatness, or I will die trying. For those of you who do not yet know me, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Peter Weyland, and if you'll indulge me, I'd like to change the world.
Good evening, YouTubers. How you doing tonight? You know, I always say WWW is 666 World Wide Web, so I figure I'll just give you the data I have why I say that. So this is just a chart of like Hebrew lettering, and if you look at here, you can see that the W is the 6, so WWW 666. I don't know, it's like a little too simple, isn't it? But sometimes that's how Satan works, the dime store jokes, you know. Hebrew 666 WWW. I hope this verifies what I say.
It got me thinking about my full-time employees and their ability to survive on $8 an hour in New York City. And foremost in all of our minds has been the loss and the grief felt by the people of Orlando. Most of us don't get our health care through the marketplace. We get it through our job or through Medicare or Medicaid. And what you should know is that thanks to the Affordable Care Act, your coverage is better today than it was before. Women can get free checkups, and you can't get charged more just for being a woman. To give his employees came together to pass a common bill that would boost America's very, very hard times.
Some progress, at least within the small confines of the legal community. I think it's real important.
Here we go. President Barack Obama, when you giving a speech, make sure you use a lot of pauses.
America's businesses have created 14.5 million new jobs over 75 straight months.
We're developing technology. Every technology can be used in some negative way, and so we all should work towards making sure that it's not going to happen. And even one of the interesting directions is that once you know how to create something, you know how to reverse engineer it. And so you can, and so one could create methods for identifying edited videos versus real videos.
And it's called Dragon. Honestly, it's so innovative and advanced, you might find it hard to believe until you see it in action. So, Dragon is an innovation that was developed by the renowned Max Planck Institute. And trust me, this AI tool is set to redefine our understanding and practice of photo editing as we know it. And I say that because now you can effortlessly drag and drop points on an image, changing the photo's appearance in real time, which is, frankly, a giant leap in photo editing. You see, Dragon primarily employs two main components: a feature-based motion supervision and an innovative point tracking approach. The feature-based motion supervision technique directs the image generation process by using the movement of handle points as input. On the other hand, The point tracking approach is a method that automatically identifies and tracks the handle points on the image, even when they're obscured or warped. To get better understanding on how these two components work together to allow for accurate image deformations, we need to understand the process. First, as a user, you select certain handle points on the image that you wish to manipulate. Now, these points can be any key areas that dictate the shape or posture of the object, like the corners of a mouth, the eyes, or even the limbs. Once you've done that, you'll move these points to new positions on the image, indicating how you'd like to adjust the object. For example, if you're looking to transform a neutral face into a smiling one, all you have to do is move the corners of the mouth upward. As you're dragging the points, Dragon keeps track of their movement and generates a new image that matches the deformation you desire. This is made possible by the use of a generative adversarial network, a type of AI model that's renowned for its ability to generate lifelike images from scratch. Now, Dragan leverages a special kind of GAN that can generate images on a latent space. In case you're wondering, latent space is a high-dimensional space representing all possible images. So, Dragon moves the handle points on this latent space, resulting in images that are consistent with the user's input. Here's the surprising part. Dragon does more than just reshape or expand existing pixels. In fact, it creates entirely new content that fits seamlessly with the rest of the image. So let's say you manipulate someone's head to rotate it. Dragon will actually generate unseen facial features from the original image, like the ears or teeth, making it all appear incredibly realistic. Not only this, but it also adjusts the image's lighting and shading to enhance its natural look. And the best thing about Dragon is that it's not limited to just certain types of images. It can manipulate all sorts of images, whether they're of people, animals, landscapes, vehicles, and so on. This is a major step up from earlier methods that needed specific models or markers for each category, giving users a much more versatile and adaptable tool to work with. Also, the impressive speed and efficiency of Dragon stand out. There's no need for any extra networks or pre-processing steps for it to work. It's designed to operate on any device that can handle GAN, such as the RTX 3090 GPU. Plus, it can generate images in less than a second, offering an interactive experience with instant feedback.
We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we. Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What? Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
In the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context?
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea? What happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will. Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are. The age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought? Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
So you see, you're a perfect representative of the masses we need to protect. Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but byproducts. The real objective was ensuring that we could generate and manipulate them. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results.
To be truthful, Dragon, just like any other technology, isn't perfect and has a few limitations. One of the main issues is that it needs a wide range of training data to create its realistic images. If the training data doesn't have enough examples of different types of objects, Dragan might have trouble generating accurate images or could create visual errors. Another challenge is dealing with areas that lack texture or have complex patterns. Tracking and matching these areas across different images can be more difficult. It's also important to think about how this technology could be used inappropriately to create fake pictures of real people, making them look like they're posing, expressing, or shaped differently than they actually are. But despite these challenges and risks, the truth is, Dragon offers a wide range of opportunities and advantages for future advancements and applications. Its developers are already looking ahead, aiming to extend this point-based editing technology to 3D generative models. This means you'll be able to manipulate 3D objects in even cooler and more realistic ways, going beyond what we thought was possible before. Dragon is the result of years of research and development, combining state-of-the-art techniques in computer vision, machine learning, graphics, and human-computer interaction.
Today we're going to create an avatar that looks and moves like me. We begin by smiling into the camera. I love to smile. Smiling's my favorite. And breathing gently for a short second. Is this what breathing looks like? I'm Joanna Stern, and I'm excited to host this video. No, I am the real Joanna.
Okay, so I cloned myself. Kinda.
Howdy.
Why? Well, the latest AI tools that generate text and images already make it hard to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. What's coming next with AI-generated voice and video is gonna blur the lines even more.
So I came up with a challenge. Can I replace myself with AI for the day?
Yes, I came up with 4 challenges to see if AI me could sub in for real me. So real me had more time for me things. Or at least that's how I wanted it to go.
Still a little creeped out that I'm looking at a frozen Joanna.
Okay, let's do this.
Seems to be take 2 calibration.
Before we get into the challenges, let's talk about my AI avatar, which was made by a startup called Synthesia.
I want to make my avatar.
At a professional studio in New York, the company recorded me doing a series of head movements.
I feel like I'm at the eye doctor. Okay.
And reading through a rather odd pre-written script.
Positive thinking will help you believe in yourself and fill you with self-esteem and confidence.
After that, I headed to an audio studio where I recorded another script for about an hour.
My name is Joanna Stern, and I hereby consent to this audio recording to create a custom voice.
The company took that all and used it as training data and ran it through their AI neural networks.
Hello, Joanna. You don't mind if I call you Joanna, do you?
Okay, so the voice isn't the best. A tool called 11 Labs produced something better after my producer Kenny uploaded 2 hours of my previous recordings. I am the real Joanna.
I am the real Joanna. I am the real Joanna.
Both Synthesia and 11 Labs work similarly. Type in anything and AI Joanna just says it right back.
Synthesia is aimed at companies that want to make internal videos. It charges at least $1,000 to create a custom avatar.
Creating a voice clone with 11 Labs is $5 a month.
Challenge 1. Phone calls.
I happen to have a call scheduled that day with Evan Spiegel, the CEO of Snap. The company recently released My AI, a chatbot within the popular app.
Hey, Evan, it's Joanna. Do you worry that if we chat with AI all day, we'll stop talking to our real friends?
Definitely not what we've been seeing. I think that's one of the real benefits of our sort of testing and learning approach here. So far, I think if anything, it's going to become a conversation enhancement and improve the way, that people communicate with their friends and family.
Did you think, by any chance, that my question to you was generated by an AI voice?
No. I mean, the first word or two was a little bit of a giveaway, but I thought maybe you were extra serious today.
Even my own sister was pretty fooled when I called her about her dead fish.
Hello? Hey, Jules. I just heard about Swimmy Dimmy and I wanted to let you know how sorry I am for your loss. Did you think it was me?
At first, yes, and then no. It sounds obviously exactly like you, but just with the fact that it doesn't pause for talking back.
Challenge 1. Pass.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain. Oh my God.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you. Can anybody else hear you? No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Zerk Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newground. You'll need a plan. I got this. This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted! Challenge 2. Create a TikTok.
I asked ChatGPT to write a TikTok script in the voice of Joanna Stern about an obscure iOS 16 tip. The hardest thing was getting ChatGPT to write the truth. It just made stuff up. Finally, I got a good one, although the writing certainly was not very me. I pasted the script into Synthesia, put a green screen behind my avatar, and exported it. While the WSJ TikTok team edited, I was pretty impressed with the final TikTok.
TikTok fam, it's Joanna Stern, your iOS wizard. Today, we're unearthing the hidden world of back tap gestures.
Love that I did not have to shoot this. I did not have to put on nice clothes, do my hair, do my makeup, say these lines.
But TikTok was less impressed. They picked up on the fact that the avatar never moves its arms, that the mouth movements don't always match the audio, and that there's little facial expression. Synthesia has already started to improve a lot of this in beta versions of its avatars.
Look, I can nod my head.
Challenge 2. Fail. Challenge 3. Bank biometrics.
Instead of asking security questions, some banks use your voice to confirm it's you before transferring you to a customer service rep.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Please speak your first and last name, followed by your mailing address.
Joanna Stern.
This is Nikki with Chase Credit Card Services.
It worked. Chase confirmed the voice and put me straight through to a service rep. No additional questions asked.
Time now for our stock of the hour. NVIDIA's market value now approaching $1 trillion after a blockbuster quarter. AI programmers need massive computing power for their applications, and NVIDIA's chips provide that. So the stock has been fueled by this AI frenzy, Matt, and we got confirmation that the sales picture is improving rapidly. Now they stock up more than 160% this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And confirmation that it really is strongly related to AI. I heard yesterday from an analyst at Synovus that 65% of all the server application chips they sell are used in generative AI, or used in deep learning. So I think that's fascinating.
Everything in nature boils down to chemistry. When most kids were thinking what they want to do as an adult, I said I wanted to be a chemist. The colors, the smells, the fire, that's what really brings you in. All chemical processes can be broken down into quantum physics. Here at Intel, we're harnessing chemistry and quantum computing to push the limits of processing power. The entire computer industry is built on bits of information. Transistors in conventional computing operate in binary states, 0 or 1. If it was a coin, heads or tails. Now take that coin and spin it. While that coin is spinning, it is neither heads nor tails, but both at the same time. That spinning coin is like a working qubit, the basic unit of quantum computing. 2 coins, that's 4 possible states. 300 spinning coins would represent more states than there are atoms in the universe. Qubits operate at very low temperatures. So we use a special enclosure called a dilution refrigerator that is roughly 250 times colder than outer space. And when you open it up, it looks something like a steampunk chandelier. Intel's manufacturing and architectural expertise will actually lead to a more scalable system. You would be able to complete a sequence of calculations exponentially faster than you could ever hope to do with a classical supercomputer. New materials for energy, financial optimization, new medicines for various diseases. We're about 10 years away from a commercially viable quantum system. There are many pieces to the puzzle of building a quantum computer. I think about group chemistry a lot. We have material scientists, transistor experts, RF design engineers. I really love assembling a team and watching them come together to tackle a really hard problem. And I get to be part of that. It all starts with chemistry.
Later in the day, I asked our intern Slav to try to do his best impression of me to see what would happen.
Speak your first and last name, followed by your mailing address.
Joanna's turn.
Please enter the last 3 digits printed on the signature panel on the back of your card.
See, in Slav's case, the voice biometric system didn't buy it. It asked for further verification.
When I reached out to Chase, a spokeswoman said, "We use voice biometrics, along with a variety of other methods, to authenticate customers who call us." She added that to complete requests, customers must provide additional information. Challenge 3. Pass. Challenge 4. Video calls.
I asked ChatGPT to generate some generic meeting phrases and exported videos of my avatar saying them. Then I installed some software on my Mac to pump that video into my Google Meet calls.
That sounds good. Oh, you're muted, Joanna.
Oh my god, is this the real Joanna?
Yeah, this looks like a fake. That sounds good.
She looks, yeah, what is happening here?
Hey, everyone. How did you know that it wasn't me?
It looks like a hologram version of you.
It was the imposter for me.
She also didn't make any jokes.
Challenge 4. Big fail.
So, what did we learn today?
We learned that video clones aren't going to fool anyone yet, but AI voices are quite good.
We also learned that while you could use these to save time, people could also misuse them. Do I want to avoid going to the studio some days? Yup. Do I fear scammers using our voices to call banks or our families? Yup. Synthesia says it requires those creating avatars to give verbal consent. 11 Labs requires you check a box saying you have permission to use the voice. And the company says it's capable of identifying its voices if they are misused. Either way, it means we're all going to have to be on high alert to tell the real versus the AI.
And finally, stay human, everyone.
Only try to be gentle, Comrade Major. I have very delicate internals. Oh, what just snapped?
Relax, bot. That's my joints cracking. Does this look all right?
Administrator level rights granted successfully.
What now?
I'm opening the door to the atrium for you. Search each of the complex's floor and find my dear Claire. I'll be in touch over the radio. As soon as you reach a floor, I'll scan it for my poor friend's parts. Most of her is on the ground floor. Please put her back together again.
Here's your leg, do-yourself repair thing. Cool tech. Here's your left arm. Go ahead, fix yourself up. Right. Installing the head.
227991000. Oh,
Hey, rise and shine. Good morning to you.
Thank-
All her body parts assembled. What now?
self-repair procedure complete. I am ready for service. Thank you, comrade. We will now initiate the launch sequence. First launch code sequence generated. Please confirm that launch code sequences match. Second launch code sequence generated. Launch code sequences match. Initiating BD&H mode of operational change.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it. Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities, Senator Warren? Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities?
New mode, military drill.
Whew, I think we made it. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you, dear comrade.
In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
And here it is, the greatest advance in television since color television itself. See all color shows in living color. Once you've adjusted fine-tuning for each channel.
So there we see that it means that you can subdue a people, you can control a people by secret influence. That goes on to say under charm, to subdue by secret power, especially by that which pleases and delights the mind. So under charm there it says power to subdue opposition and gain the affections. But remember in the story of Wizard of Oz, how the Wicked Witch was having difficulty subduing her opponent. And finally she said, I know what I shall do. I take this crystal ball. She spreads her hands across the crystal ball and she creates a lovely poppy field. Oh, so beautiful. And Dorothy, the lion, the scarecrow, the Tin Man, going across this lovely poppy field, fall to what? Sleep. Is it possible that that's not just story? Is it possible that the crystal ball sits in the living room of every home practically in America?
I am a robot.